So what's up, Craig? How are you?
All good, mate. How are you?
I'm all good. Thanks a million for coming on. Really appreciate it.
No problem at all. Thanks for having me.
Lovely. Yeah, before we just hit record that you're talking about you had a good few you had a good few fights planned. I understand.
I had I think 4 fights planned for the year. I fought once, and 2 of them would have been actually fairly soon. One of them would have been in April, and the next one would have been in September. And then I was looking at probably October to December for the last one of the year. But I don't really see them being rescheduled now. I don't think there's going to be any fights this year. Hopefully there is. Hopefully something gets put on, but I can't say it happening, unfortunately.
Yeah, was that going to be with Yokkao, or was it I understand that you were fighting with another promotion?
It was different. So the one in April would have been on a show called Rebellion in Scotland against a lad called Brian Totty. Would have been a nice fight. Brian's a clincher, so he likes to come forward and get inside, stay in the clinch, knee, sweep. He's really good sweeps and that. But I think my style didn't really suit him well, because I like to move. I like to use my hands and cut angles, where he's more straight lines and try to grab a hold of you. So I thought that fight would have probably favoured me a little bit more. But he's good. It was at a heavier weight as well. It was at 65 or 66. So he's moving up for that as well. Then the one in September was against a lad called Panikas Yusuf, who fights for one championship. Really, really good, really talented lad. Very pretty to watch. Very skillful, but again, he'd be the opposite. He doesn't really like pressure. He doesn't like people that like bring the fight to him. So it would have been a nice fight. I'd say it could have been a good path to get me onto one championship.
Yeah, is that would that be the goal, to go to one?
Yeah, definitely. One would probably be the biggest platform out there for Thai boxers at the minute. They have some huge shows, and supposedly they pay well. But
yeah.
But
I saw a thing there. Was maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't know if it's just MMA, if it's it has the Muay Thai included. The one is the highest viewed combat sports. It was like, it had WWE, but like, you know, do you count that?
I had UFC as well, but I think that's only on YouTube platform and Facebook platforms. I don't think that's like paper. Obviously, it's not pay-per-view, because one don't do pay-per-view. So I think it's like free showing, if you get me.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Still, you're getting seen by fucking couple of million people. You know what I mean? It's only going to boost it. It's only going to boost your profile. It's only going to boost you as a person, isn't it?
Yeah, it's savage. Like, there's just so many of them over there, isn't there, to fight in front of?
Yeah, there's a lot of Asians. Yeah.
But so how did you get started in Muay Thai? Like, where did it kind of start?
I started when I was a kid. I started boxing when I was really young, because when you come up in flats, I live in flats from Dublin 1. I'm an inner city lad. It's either football or boxing. I was shy at football, so it was boxing for me. I wasn't really good at that either, but I then kind of fell out of love with boxing young enough. It's real, like, you go on the bag, do this, do that. Like, it's not really shown. You're not like told, like, right, if you sit down on your right hand, it'll set up a left hook, or you're just kind of left at the start. You know what I mean? But I didn't really like that. I wanted to be taught. So I lost interest in boxing, and ended up gaining loads of weight. I went and done jiu-jitsu. Done jiu-jitsu for about 2 years. Had an ambition to fight in mixed martial arts, and was like, right, I need to get me striking better. So there was this little gym around the corner from where I was from, and we'd walk past that, and we just hear people going, and you're like, what's going on in there? Like,
yeah,
we strolled in, had a little look, a lot of lads hitting bags, but making weird noise. Like, right, we'll give this a bash. So started Muay Thai when I was about 18, I think, and I was just kept really busy. So I wasn't training jiu-jitsu, because you get like little knocks in jiu-jitsu, or little, like, you end up hurting your elbow, you end up hurting your shoulder. Like, I found I was always picking up small injuries in jiu-jitsu. I never really got hurt in Thai. So I was always kept busy with fights. So the MMA fights kind of went out the window a little bit there.
Yeah. So then, when you were a kid, would you have had many fights as boxing matches when you were a kid, or was you just
No,
hitting
just a
the bag
couple of
and
white collar fights. Like just, I think I had 3 boxing fights and about 2 white collar fights. That was it. I didn't have a lot of boxing experience now. But in saying that, my hands are probably one of my best attributes.
Yeah. Would you have been any? Would you have got many fights around the flats? Like, would you have been in many fights outside of the gym?
I definitely would have. When you're from an area like that, I think it's the survival of the fittest, really. You either you can take care of yourself or defend yourself, or you kind of get bullied. When I was real young, I did get kind of picked on a little bit, and then like my older brother give me a little slap and tell me like if you don't kill them, I'm gonna kill you, and like I'd be more. So I'd be like, right, fuck, I'm gonna have to fight this lad. You know what I mean? Not in age, obviously, but yeah, got into a couple of scraps growing up.
Yeah. Did you ever find that because if guys knew you did a bit of boxing or a bit of Muay Thai or anything like that, they really wanted to try their
No,
chances?
I thought it was the opposite. But when I started doing the jiu-jitsu and MMA, everyone was like, "No, don't want any of that."
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
suppose it kind of goes. It can go either way, can't it?
one
Like,
or the other.
yeah. Some people will go, well, shit, I'm not going to fuck with him, and other people
Yeah.
will go, well, I try
Well,
my chance.
let's have a crack at that. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, like, did you have any amateur fights in Muay Thai, or was it
And
straight?
toy, yeah, I had 3 amateur fights. The 3 of them were stoppages, so I got progressed quite quickly, to be honest with you. Then like, in toy, there's three kind of levels when you hit pro. So the C class, B class, and A class. C class is like you get the shin pads off. You put 8-ounce gloves on. The rounds are 2 minutes and it's 3 rounds. Then you progress after a while and you go into B class. B class is 5 rounds, knees to the face, no elbows. I think it's 1.5 or 2 minutes per round. And then A class is full 5 rounds, elbows, knees to the face, 3-minute rounds. But in A class, you get a 2-minute break in between rounds. So like you're basically fresh going into the next round.
Yeah. That's kind of a strange one, though, isn't it? I know, like, with the not like having knees but no elbows, I obviously maybe less cuts, but still, the damage that a knee could do is probably fairly
The
similar.
face is probably, it would be very similar. Like with knees, you probably KO someone. Elbows, not as much. You cut more with an elbow. So with a knee, probably more dangerous than an elbow, in a sense.
Yeah, but like that, so it's kind of strange how they came about with will allow knees but no elbows.
No elbows, yeah. I'd agree there, yeah. It's just progression, really. It's just to kind of get lads comfortable with throwing them, I think.
Yeah, and who kind of decides then how fast to progress? Like, is it your coach kind of decides that,
Yeah.
in your team
Your
kind of?
coach is the one that progresses, yeah.
How many fights would you tend to see like that? You like, how many fights would it tend to take somebody to progress through the classes?
It's again on the person. Some people could progress a lot slower than others and end up playing animals when they're older. Some progress fast, but then probably progress too fast and get thrown in at the high end too quickly. I progressed quite quickly. I think I had 3 C class fights, 3 B class fights, and then I went A class.
Yeah, and would
So
that be? And would
I
even
was
the
running with dogs. Yeah, I was running with dogs straight away.
yeah, it's sink or swim.
Yeah, exactly. It's been like that in my life, you know. I've 2 brothers, one older, one younger, and it's just constantly competition between the 3 of us, you know what I mean? If one of us isn't having a good day, they're going to know, you know what I mean? The other 2 is going to be banging it around.
Yeah, you have to always have your wits
Bit
about you.
Yeah, a bit of friendly competition, whether it's blading, eating dinner, going on a run, or whatever.
So do they train as well? Would they fight as well?
Yeah, Lee started off fighting, so Lee's my older brother, Senan is my younger brother. Lee was the one that kind of started, and Lee got me into it. He was like, when I started putting on weight, he was going like, why don't you try come down to the gym with me? Yeah, I'm doing jiu-jitsu, and I was like, right, we'll have a look. And then when the UFC was on it in Bravo days, when I was on in Bravo, he'd
Yeah,
wake me up in the middle of the night, bring me downstairs. You watch that, and I can always remember that kind of twigged me interest in it, you know what I mean? And then obviously, Sam growing up with two brothers that kind of fight, he automatically went into it. Now, in fairness, he's done a lot. He's played rugby, he's played hurling, played golf, played football, but fighting is what he wants to do. He's moved to MMA though. He's took the route that I wanted to take.
Interesting. Do you think he'll ever
Fight MMA? I'd like to, yeah, I would. I still have interest in it. I'd still sit up, watch it. I'd still mess with the lads, do a bit of jiu-jitsu, but I've always I haven't been able to put my time into it, if you get me. I haven't been able to actually say, right, I'm going to train jiu-jitsu today, I'm going to train jiu-jitsu Wednesday, I'm going to train. Like, I haven't given myself set days where I've actually done sessions, jiu-jitsu sessions. I've just kind of messed about with it from bleeding when I started taking Muay Thai seriously. But yeah, I'd have an interest in that or boxing.
Yeah. Have you always trained in the same gym in the Dublin Combat Academy?
Well, we used to be known as a different name. We used to be known as Lionheart, and then me and my head coach Colin Mutton went and started our own gym. So yeah, we have always been. It's always the same team. You know what I mean? We've always been with the same team. We've just changed names.
Yeah. Have you ever have you been to Thailand to train out there and have some fights?
Yeah, no, I haven't fought there. Unfortunately, this time last year, I was over there. I was on the come up to my fight against Singdam for WBC title. I went over, I think it was 6 weeks. One of the lads that trained with us, Stefan Crowdy, he's basically living there now. He's in a gym called PK. But I went to a place called Rayong for 2 weeks and trained there. It's like kind of countryside in Thailand. And then I went down to Stefan for 4 weeks in PK Sanctuary Muay Thai. Savage gym. Some really, really good fighters there. Completely different lifestyle over there. It's just train, eat, sleep. Train, eat, sleep. Like legit train, eat, sleep. You wake up in the morning, you're going on your 10K run, you're going to the gym, train for an hour, you go home, eat, sleep, wake up at 4, go back to the gym, train for 4 hours, go back, eat and sleep again. They live it, you know what I mean? It's madness over there.
Yeah. And the fact you're in the sun then as well, it makes it even better.
It makes it better, but it makes it worse. It's very, very humid over there. It's very hard to breathe. So when you're hitting pads, you're dying. Like I have a good gas tank, and over there, I felt like I was gonna die after 3 rounds. Honestly, it's great though. It is.
Yeah. Did you feel the benefits when you came back then?
Yeah, like the minute, because Irish air is really, really clean. It's humid over there, but the air is also dirty. It's like full of smog over the amount of bikes and cars and what have you that they have over there, like all the street vendors and all that. So it's very smoky, like you can't really see the sun. But I came back to Ireland, I was bleeding. It was like having an oxygen mask on, you know what I mean? When I was running, I was bleeding, blasting through my runs. When I was hitting pads, I could hit bleeding 7 or 8 rounds without like getting tired. I was mad coming back.
Yeah. Do you think you'll go back for something similar before any fight?
I'd like that. I'd like to go over to fight rather than just train, because I didn't want to take any risk when I went over, so I didn't want to fight while I was over there. I was half saying, will I fight? I had 4 weeks. The only thing I was worried about was getting cut. You know what I mean? Over there, they're big into elbow. So in the back of my mind, I was like, if I get cut 4 weeks, this is such a big opportunity. I don't want to waste this opportunity. So I didn't end up fighting, but I would love to go over and try and fight in the stadiums.
Yeah. Just I was going to ask you about the stadiums. Did you get to watch some fights in the stadiums? Because they look unbelievable. Any fights I've seen, they look unbelievable.
It's the atmosphere over there. I need to kick that thrown. But it's like an orchestra. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's in sync. It's great over there. I got to go to the stadiums. I got to watch Stefan fight in one of the stadiums. I got to watch a couple of lads fight in Lumpini as well. So yeah, I was really happy to go over and watch a few fights there. But it just gave me the want to fight then as well, you know?
Yeah.
Sitting there, itchy knuckles.
Is it a thing that over there? I've heard this once or twice that like if it's a 5-round fight, it's like they'll take the first round off and the last round off, and they kind of only fight for the middle 3 rounds because like
sometimes it's even 2 rounds. So sometimes it's 1 and 2. They do nothing. 3 and 4 is the big rounds. 3 and 4 is the money rounds. 4 is the money round. But 3 and 4 is where they pick up the pace. They'll fight for probably a minute of the 5th round to establish who won the fight, and then that's it.
Yeah,
They'll dance, throw their hand around.
Is that because they fight so often, like, or like?
Yeah, so like he could be fighting like that. The fighter that was in there could be fighting in a week's time, 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
So no risk. There's no risk. Well, there is obviously a lot of risk, but they're not going to take a chance in taking major injuries.
Yeah, but is it like an agreement then before the guys step in? Because like if you've got one guy, would say, let's say if you went in and fought and you're thinking I'm going in to fight for 5 rounds, you're coming in.
I wouldn't be able to do it. But Steph has told me about it. So Steph has said to me like they'll say it to you. 1st round you go out and sabai, relax. Don't do anything. Chill, see, look. And then 2nd round, okay, little bit. And then 3rd round, okay, fight. And then so the reason on the 5th round is if you secure the win, like so say they'll know coming into the 5th round who's ahead, obviously, because they know the game so well. So they'll probably, if Steph's ahead, they'll say, okay, sit back, kick 1, 2, walk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if he's behind, they'll say, 1st minute, go, hands, box, elbow. And then if you're not going to knock the lad out, you just say, okay, stop, save yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's kind of it's just so different.
Mad,
like
it's mad.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. That's what I was saying. Steph was saying, if I was to fight over here, I wouldn't be able to. He's like, you have to, and I'm like, I wouldn't be able to. I'd be thrown down from the 1st round, like.
Yeah, especially with the atmosphere.
Spread into yeah. You hear someone like.
So, like back in Ireland, then, like how many different was you fought on many promotions like around Ireland, the UK, Europe?
Yeah, I fought on a good few. In Ireland, I basically fought on all the big shows. In England, I fought on the two biggest shows there is, Yokkao and Muay Thai Grand Prix. In Europe, I fought on a couple of shows as well. I fought on a good show in Italy, Wolf of the Ring. Then another one in England. What was it called? Smashes Muay Thai. Fought on a good few big shows. The only one that I think I've left to go with is one.
Yeah, that call will come.
Hopefully, I keep working for it. Will.
Yeah. So would you say apart from that, Yokkao is probably the biggest one you fought with? It's probably the biggest.
Yeah, Yokkao is definitely. It's probably the biggest in Europe, to be honest with you. You've a great setup on Yokkao. They've very, very good fighters as well. Big following, very big following. So it's a great platform to fight on. It's a great platform to get noticed on as well. So for any up-and-coming fighters, aim for that on Muay Thai Grand Prix, I'd say.
Yeah, like your time with them started well, as far as I understand. Like you,
it's 3 KOs. I fought then Mo Abdurrahman. I don't know. I can't pronounce his second name. Got caught with a beautiful elbow. Came back and fought the Singdam fight. He's a living legend. Controversial on the real sets, but I fought anyone they've put in front of me, and I've never given a bad account of myself. So I'm happy.
Yeah. Would you like to have that fight with the English guy, your man Mo, back again?
Abdurrahman. Yeah, I'm sure we will fight again. I'm sure we're gonna meet again. He's probably the best. He is. He's number 1 at 63.5 kilos in England. I'd be number 1 at 63.5 in Ireland. It's definitely a fight that I would like back. I'd like to win a fight or two before I'd fight him again, to be honest. But I do see it happening again. Probably not on Yokkao again though.
Was that the fight that that was the fight that Fight Connect TV were kind of doing a bit? Lydia did. I was just kind of running around.
Lydia done a few of them. She's done one on the Kennedy fight. She's done one on the what's it called, on the Abdurrahman fight and on the Singdam fight. So she's done a few, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the one, the Abdurrahman fight, that was the first time I kind of had fully
quick there.
Heard of you. Yeah, I'd heard of you, and kind of was following and looking to watch and keep an eye out. But you kind of mentioned the Singdam fight, and like you could kind of fill me in on the rules, because I was watching it, and like just from a spectator not knowing how it scored, I thought you won the fight. I thought, like, looking at it, like maybe you won. I thought you won the early rounds, like 1, 2, 3, and then maybe the other Singdam maybe 1, 4, and 5. But I thought, like, I would look at him at he wins 3-2. It was kind of my initial thought of it, like, but then I kind of saw some stuff about the rule set or how it scored is different. So like,
well, Thai boxing is based on effect. Okay, so what it is you can kick me, and if it doesn't off balance me or move me, it shouldn't score as well as if I kick you and you move a little bit. Okay, same with boxing. So if I hit you a jab and your head knock doesn't knock back around, and there's no effect in that jab. So if someone lands something that shows effect, then it's scored. So that's what Thai is based on, yeah. But kicks, knees, and elbows score a lot more than boxing in Thai. But WBC have their own rule set. So WBC's rule set is anything that shows effect scores. So whether it's hands, knees, elbows, kicks, they all score the same. So anything that showed effect was scored. On that criteria, I thought I won as well. So anytime I was hitting him, his head was snapping back. Anytime he was moving a little bit. Now, I understand, if we were to fight in a stadium in Thailand, he definitely won the fight. But I do understand that he landed very effective kicks, but I was landing very effective hands off his kicks. So when we got the rules meeting, when I can't think of his name, but when your man came up to tell us the rules for WBC officiate, when WBC officiate came up, he was like, okay, explain the rules. He was like, no downward elbows. And Thai, that's a big thing. Thai, you can downward elbow. He's like, there's no downward elbows. And then he explained that, like, boxing, knees, elbows, everything scores the same. So we were like, right, change plan, Collie. We'll box, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I knew that was my strong suit. I knew I couldn't kick with him. I couldn't stay on the outside and play that game, or he'd beat me all day. He's 400 fights. He's a living legend. Do you know what I mean? So we were like, right, we'll just box off his kicks, and that's what we done. And I thought I'd done a fairly good job of it. So I did leave a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth after it, but I am happy that I got to fight a living legend. You know what I mean? I fought arguably one of the best Thais that ever has been, and I marched them down for 5 rounds.
Yeah, and you got to do it in your
hometown.
In my
hometown, yeah.
What was the atmosphere like on YouTube? It looked great. So what was it like? Well,
that was a special moment for me. A very, very special moment for me. I hadn't fought in Ireland in 2 or 3 years, I think, and it was like a homecoming. But I think I sold like 300 to 400 tickets to that, so I had a big group of people there. But obviously, everyone's gonna root for that's one thing about Irish people. They root their own. You know what I mean? They show love for their own, and that place blew up when I walked out. Like, I've never experienced that like that in my life. Like, what's going on here? Yeah, that was amazing. That's a moment I'll never forget.
Yeah, would you like to get something like that again? Get them back?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love probably that or Muay Thai Grand Prix. Like, Muay Thai Grand Prix is a big European stage. It's a big European promotion as well. So who knows? There's options, you know what I mean? I have options there. That's the main thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I was watching it, and there was some cracking fights on that card as well. Like, that was on in Dublin.
Yeah. There was some great fights on Stephen and Spencer Brown. That was another very, very good fight. We thought Steph got a little bit hard done by on that as well. I know Spencer dropped him in the second, but that was all he done. Steph won the first, won the third, won the fourth, won the fifth. He had a bad second round, very bad second round, but I thought he done great outside of that, you know what I mean? Then we had another one of our lads on, Ad Brown. He fought a guy called, it wasn't Jack Kennedy, it was Jack Maguire. He fought the lad as well a couple of years back. Another impressive win. Then we had another lad from the gym, George Hardy. He fought a fella from Cork, Calvin. I don't know his name, MMA fighter. Can't think of a second name, but George won as well. So we had a very good night that night for the gym. And there was another there was a lot of good lads on. Lloyd Lynch was on against Dano. Dano's now with us. Stephen, what's his name? Stephen O'Brien, I think it is. And Momo Kale. There was some bangers on that night.
Yeah. And would you say like Singdam is the toughest fight you've had? Like when you were in there, that you could, did you feel like?
No, I felt at home in there with him. Honestly, all he was doing was kicking. All he was doing, like Mo is definitely the hardest fight I've had. His angles, his boxing, all that. So he presented different threats for me. You know what I mean? He wasn't just a sitting target, just throwing kicks. He was throwing different stuff. He was throwing kicks, knees, elbows, boxing. He was moving. He was creating angles. So that would have been definitely my hardest fight to date.
Yeah. So I haven't seen the fight, but I understand in your fight after that was with a guy called George
Mazukitas.
That's the one.
Fucking robbed on that, to be honest with you. Very, very badly robbed on that one. Very, very badly robbed on that one. I was landing hands, I was landing knees, I was landing elbows, I was landing kicks, and everything I was landing was showing effect. And he was landing, was doing nothing to me. He landed one sweep and one nice elbow, and he landed a couple of kicks. But for everything he was landing, I was landing 2 to 3 shots as well. I don't know what happened in that one. Could have gave the judges a few quid or something there. Fucking bad decision, I thought. Yeah.
And did I see? I could be dreaming with this. Did you look to appeal it?
Yeah, we did, but then all this started with the coronavirus, and obviously, so when we tried to appeal it, we asked Muay Thai Grand Prix to put in a repeal, obviously, and what happened was they says, yeah, no problem, we just have to get the sanctioning body. So over in England, I don't know, IMAF or something like that it's called. They just says, yeah, we have to just get through to them. They have to have a board meeting and watch the fight as a collective, as a group. And then all this happened, and obviously become me. You know what I mean?
Do you think it's going to happen, or is it just going to be let lie?
I don't think so. No, I think it'd be swept under the carpet type of thing. Why would they want to out one of their own? You know, like not in a bad way, not in an English Irish thing or anything like that. But like, he's an English lad, I'm an Irish lad. Why would you want to fucking do that for me? You know?
Yeah. Would you like the rematch then?
Yeah, I'd like the rematch over 5 rounds as well. I think I'd stop him over 5 rounds. I was only coming into my own in the 3rd round. I was feeling myself a little bit in the 3rd round. We kind of let the foot off the gas towards the end there. But again, he done nothing to hurt me, done nothing to faze me.
Yeah. Why would it have only been 3 rounds and not 5 in the first place? Was it?
Muay Thai Grand Prix, they do that. So what their format is if it's not a title fight, it's a 3-round fight. Okay. So it's a little bit faster pace. Like there's only 1 minute break as well. So it's good as well.
Yeah. So a bit, because a 2-minute break is something different in combat sports.
Yeah, it's great. It is. You look, honestly, fresh going into the next round, like.
Yeah, and yeah, I think like because you see even sometimes like the 60-second, I fought once or twice like it was in tatami sports, and it did the 2 minutes, and then there was a 30-second break and go again, and I remember it being bollocks. Usually have the minute break, but then I think like Jesus, if you add another minute onto that, like it's
you'd be fresh. Yeah, actually fresh. Like some people obviously blowing out the hole at the end of the fight, but other than that, you're grand. Like I think I will cover quickly. We'll cover in a minute. Like when we do the way we do it in the gym is we'll do like a 3.5 minute round, so we'll do 30 seconds extra, but we'll only do a 30-second break. So then when you go into fight and you have a 2-minute break, it's like we sit there and have a chat sometimes, like chat with each other, what story, how we keeping, like.
I'd imagine like you're kind of nearly looking for the bell, like Jesus, is it like
is it go, get me back in there,
yeah. Especially I suppose if you're winning the fight, like if you're the one winning, you nearly want to be putting the pressure on him. Whereas like if the other guy's losing and he's getting a little bit tired and he's getting that break, he's like,
the break, he's relaxed then,
yeah. So like I know obviously you've mentioned that you'd like to fight on one. Would you ever look at? I know it's would you ever look at maybe Glory kickboxing? Obviously, it's a little bit different. It's different, but
Yeah,
it's
the
similar.
rule set is a little bit different. Yeah, but I'd like to. Yeah, but we've put in to try fighting there before, but they've now. So I usually fight at 61 kilos. Can't get fight at 61 kilos, so I fight at 63.5 up to 65. But their lowest weight class I think is 66 kilos. So I could only imagine like some of the lads coming down from who knows, you know what I mean? Could be cutting down from 80 kilos. Some of these lads could. But yeah, it's definitely a big organisation.
Yeah. So then like what do you cut much weight? Because you look tall, you look big. So like you'd be big for the weight. Like, so would you cut much weight then?
No, I wouldn't. Like now, quarantine me, fucking. I think I'm standing at 72, 71.
Yeah.
I try eat clean enough, obviously, but during quarantine or whatever, or just after a fight, I let myself. Like I will allow myself to enjoy foods and have a drink or whatever. But like I wouldn't. Like the heaviest I've been, I think was last Christmas. So I got up to like 77 kilos, but that was eating absolute shite. Like that was eating, drinking most days, and like just enjoying myself for a while. But I never usually let myself go like that. Like I usually like the heaviest I'd walk around as it would be 74, 75. But
Yeah.
I am tall. I am quite tall for my weight.
And do you have a nutritionist working with you then to help you able to keep on top of
The
that?
strength conditioning coach Jason Kane, he would have gave me very good advice on nutrition. He's obviously comes with strength conditioning and doing all that. He does like transformations and all that, so he knows the stuff. He never gives me like a diet plan. He just gives me general knowledge. He'll say, right, if you eat this and this and this, it's good for you. You eat this, it's bad for you. If you're burning more calories than you're taking in, you're gonna lose weight. So he tries to keep it as simple as possible. Okay, so
Yeah, I suppose like that's kind of what you need. Like if you're not going to have somebody who I suppose working full time, you need then somebody to give you the knowledge to keep it simple.
yeah, exactly. That's simplicity, isn't it?
Yeah, and you have enough things to be worrying about in the build up to a fight.
When the
Then
fight camp, yeah, true. I've been lucky enough. I've had a few companies come on board and sponsor me, and like just testing it out. As in like field prep companies. So one or two of them got me through fight camps.
yeah, have you always been kind of full time, or have you had any time where you've had to maybe balance a job with training and?
No, when I started, I went head first. I just said, right. I've always been interested in combat. I've always wanted to do something in combat. So when I kind of start seeing a spark, when I start getting active and fighting, that I just went balls deep. I just threw myself in it. You know what I mean? I just started training twice a day for 5 days a week, and then that progressed on to 6 days a week, and we're training nearly every day now.
Yeah,
It's more for my head now than anything, you know. If we go 3 or 4 days without training and twitching, I'm sitting here twitching, like, need to do something.
need to hit something.
Yeah,
Or somebody.
yeah. Having little goes off my little one.
So, how old is she?
She's 3. She's 3, but I don't know. I don't know if I wanted to fight. It's a hard out life. She loves it though. She's in the gym with me a lot. She is. She loves the gym. She loves doing box. That's what she calls the box. She can throw elbows and knees and all, and she's only 3. But again, if it's something she chooses to do, I'll allow her. But I wouldn't like, right, you're gonna fight. We'll leave that if I have a little boy, then he'll be the one thrown in. Right, you have to do it.
Yeah, and so has she been to any of your fights?
She won, yeah, when she was really young, but I don't think it's an atmosphere for a child, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
It's a little bit hectic sometimes.
yeah, well, and you have to often some guys have too many drinks, and it's
Yeah, exactly, and all over the
yeah,
gaff, and it's getting sloppy, you know. I don't think it's a place for someone like a kid that young, anyways.
yeah.
Maybe in a few years he'll come to a few of them.
Yeah. So then in terms of, you said you train twice a day and pretty much every day. Is that what's the kind of breakdown then in terms of like your Muay Thai sessions to strength and condition sessions to
Conditioning session. So a typical week, Monday. So when I'm in fight camp, Monday morning it'd be a light enough session, not mad, skip, bag work, pads, abs. Then later on, say about 3 or 4 o'clock, I'll come in and we'll do a conditioning session. So it's a sprint session. It's like what we do is we'll do 9 rounds of sprints with no break. First 3 rounds, 30 seconds, gone. I think you put the treadmill on a 17 and a small incline. You do so 2 obstacles. It'll be med ball slams. It could be squats. You do that 3 times. Then you put the incline speed up and the time up. So you do a 30-second sprint. Then I go up to a 30. Sorry, someone's just trying to ring there. Sorry, someone was just trying to ring there. So what was the last thing you heard? Sorry.
Yeah, you put the incline up again and the speed and the time up.
Speed up, and then you change your obstacle. So it would have been legs. So then you probably do bench press and another form of med ball slam. And then the last 3 rounds, you put the speed up all the way, take the incline down a small bit, and change your obstacles as well. And it'll be a 40-second sprint.
Yeah.
So then after that, we'll do I'll eat obviously and get training again. We'll do what was it? Fuck's sake, someone's trying to ring me. Sorry.
Yeah, you're all good.
We'll do a light session. It'll just probably be a couple of rounds on pads, and then that's it. Tuesday morning, we'll do strength and conditioning. We'll go out to Elite Fitness out in Impact Strength Performance now. Sorry, to get that right. Out in Blackrock with Jason Kane. He's his little wizard. He does his own little plans. He's mainly into leg work because all your power comes from your legs. And then that night it'll be probably just a boxing session. That's all. Wednesday, same as Monday. Thursday, the same as Tuesday. Friday, it's a light session in the morning and sparring at night. So we do nothing else but spar on a Friday. And then Saturday, it'll be an easy enough session. Then Sunday, if I feel okay, I'll just do a little recovery session at home.
Yeah. So you don't so would you do a whole lot of sparring then?
No. Well, yeah, kind of. We play spar quite a bit. So at the end, when we're like shadow boxing, we play spar with each other in between all shadow boxing, but we spar hard once a week. You know what I mean? That's literally all. Friday night, it's gonna be hard sparring.
Do you think you need that, like not so much hard spars to?
Preferably, yeah. I think you need to spar hard, especially at the start of your career coming up. Like we start at like an older age, so we have a lot of making up to do with the toys. You know what I mean? Toys start when they're 3 and 4, so the technique is great, and you can play spar when they're that young, and they're really good. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, we need to get like your eyes sharp. You know what I mean? You need to see what's coming at you, and the only way of doing that, I think, is sparring. So, especially coming up to a fight, we'll spar hard, and then 2 weeks out, we'll stop.
Yeah.
So no, not going to take any risks the last 2 weeks. I'm going to let the body recover, obviously, but I think hard sparring is very necessary for fighters. You get hit in there, and you've never been hit like that before. You know what I mean? How do you react to it?
I think that's always the thing, isn't it? It's not even with how well you throw a punch; it's how you take it.
Yeah, like if you've never been hit in a certain way, like even with body shots, you know what I mean? Like the way we do it is we do about 70 to 80% headshots and 100% of the body. So you're not trying to KO your partner, but like you're obviously trying to hurt them a little bit.
Yeah. How do you go about training the elbows and the knees then? Because obviously you can't be
Don't,
sticking fellas to
don't,
the
you can't
dome.
throw them. Yeah, you can't throw them. Knees to the body, yeah. Knees to the head, no. Elbows, no. Do a lot. Like when we clinch, we like do placement on elbows, like place an elbow on it. Like I wouldn't obviously throw it, but other than that, you can't really do that. You know, it's a bit too dangerous. Like
Yeah, it's always thing I think about as well with for MMA. It's like the MMA have the same problem. Like, how do you really train elbows,
for
knees?
someone ground and pound you, like you know what I mean. Like, you wouldn't be able to train that proper. Someone slap the head off you while your head's on the mat.
Yeah. So like, so you're probably up on what you're at, like 14 sessions a week, kind of, 12, 13, 14 sessions.
Depending, yeah. So some week, obviously now, not every week is the same. Some weeks you'll be a little bit banged up, or some weeks you'll be a little bit tired, and you'll have to taper it back a little bit. But yeah, on Monday and Wednesday 3 sessions, on Tuesday and Thursday 2, on Friday 2, on Saturday 1. Most Saturdays just 1, and then Sunday sometimes.
Yeah. So it's eat, sleep, train, repeat.
Yeah, but here it's a little bit different. Here with PTs or with the baby, or with played classes, you know what I mean? So here you've a little bit more going on. You're a little bit busier, but over there it's literally sleep. Like our sessions are like 4 hours long. Like that night, like when you go into the gym in the evening, you probably go in at 3 or 4 o'clock, and you won't leave till 7 or 8. It's
Yeah.
crazy, like.
And they wouldn't do much hard sparring over there, then, would they? Like, that looks like a lot of their
Never.
stuff is a lot of play sparring.
Yeah, never. Now boxing sparring, when you box bar, you put like 18-ounce gloves on, and they'll go at it a little bit. But even then, it's not like fucking trying to take your head off. You know what I mean? It's still like playful enough, but like they'll throw a little bit of heat behind that shot.
Yeah. Like you see, like you see even the way like the guy like your man Senchoi fights, like even he fights nearly the same way he kind of trains, like
Yeah,
that
very
kind of
trying. Yeah,
playful
it
dance and
plays
stuff.
with people.
Yeah. But then what's that then when the other way sometimes I see him fight, he doesn't wear he's wearing like wraps,
The
like that.
ropes, yeah, the ropes.
Yeah.
My brand, hard chuck, it's called. That's crazy. That's where kind of Muay Thai originated from. You ever see? I don't know. I think it's kickboxing or blood sport.
Yeah.
Where he fights your man Tom Poe, Jean-Claude Van Damme film in there. He fights your man Tom Poe, puts on the ropes. Like that's like legit. Like that's the way they used to fight back in the day. Ropes, no gloves.
Yeah. And you ever seen the Letway stuff then where they use the headbutts as well?
Yeah, that's a bit mad as well.
That's crazy as well.
And you can get KO'd. You get so if you get KO'd in that way, you get 2 minutes to recover. And if you're up for it, you can go back out and go again.
I hadn't heard of that. No, yeah, gee, that's
Yeah,
that's crazy. Like,
yeah, the hard bastard them toys are.
I suppose that's why it hasn't carried over into too many other countries. Then, like, it's kind of
Yeah,
really
exactly.
there, isn't it?
It's mad, yeah. They're mad. They
Yeah,
just don't care. Fighting in the blood.
that's it. Like, yeah, but it's like you said, like it's much older. Then, would you have many kids that come to the club? Like, would you have many kids classes then that you're running? Like, what age do you tend to
Yeah,
see?
we've a lot of kids in our gym. We've a lot of good kids in our gym as well. Talking 7 to 8, 6 sometimes. Like now, it's grown now. You know, people are starting to kind of like it now. They see that it's a very effective stand-up martial art. So a lot of people are getting interested and trying to do it. Like I'm into all kind of striking martial arts. I love boxing, kickboxing. I like a bit of kickboxing as well. But they don't utilize all the weapons. Like in Thai, we utilize all our weapons. So your knees, your elbows, your kicks, your front kicks, your boxing. Now, boxing is probably not the strong suit of Muay Thai, but you're getting a lot of Westerners now. So a lot of us that are starting to implement boxing into the game as well. Like you're seeing some of the Russian fighters that have really good boxing. They have the more Eastern European style, good hands, not as much kicks, good knees. So it is growing. It's starting to get big, and people are starting to join a lot younger now.
Yeah. So, how do you go about getting those type of guys fights? Then, like in terms of like tournament.
Amateur fights or like inter clubs. So what we do is like we've done it in our gym twice or three times now. Like, you do like a little day where you just text all the other gyms and just say, like, do you want to bring down fighters, and we'll just let all the kids scrap. Basically, there's not enough shows at the minute for kids. People don't really like putting kids on because obviously they're not going to sell tickets or whatever. So you're not seeing as much kid shows as we should. But in England, they have an interclub every week. You know what I mean? So when you're a kid, you're very, very active over there. So that's why they're ahead of us at the minute, I think. And anyways, because they're fighting. When they're young, they're constantly fighting. Now, it's very hard to get our kids matched. We find it very hard to get our kids matched. Like, even with Sam, my younger brother, that's why he kind of went to MMA. Couldn't get him matched. Like, it was nearly impossible to get him matched, which is not good. You know what I mean? Because then they start losing interest in why am I training this hard for if I'm not going to be fighting type of thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think your brother struggles to get fights because he's your brother, especially stand-up?
I think so as well. Yeah, I think that can play a part of it. But then you get like little fuckers that will be like, right, I want that. You know what I mean? I want to beat this lad because he has that name. That'd be me, anyways. I'd be don't want to be like, right, he's a good name. That family name. I want to beat that family name type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Sorry.
No, go on.
Oh, sorry. I was just.
Yeah, I was just saying that, like, I'm thinking that it would be hard to get the kids fights because, like, I know in taekwondo, like, we're in a tatami sport. Like, in kickboxing, you have the couple of disciplines so that, like, if maybe people don't want to be sticking their kids into fighting in a ring, they can go to some of the tatami stuff and then transition. But Muay Thai, obviously, it's in the ring, so it's like, that's why I was wondering, like, how do you go about that? So yeah, fun that I suppose the kind of inter club.
Yeah, the inter clubs. It's a great way of doing it.
Yeah, would it be? Because I suppose there's lots of gyms around. They're just like, lots of smaller gyms. Like, there's no real, like, big, like you'd see with some of the MMA.
Yeah. I think now, this day and age, people are too worried about like records and staying perfect, this type of stuff, rather than getting in and just getting it done. You know what I mean? Like, as an amateur, your record should not matter. Like, really, it shouldn't. You should be just trying to get as much experience in it as possible. Getting ring time in, you know what I mean? Getting used to being in there, getting used to throwing shots, getting comfortable throwing shots in there. You don't see a lot of that because you see a lot of people trying to keep that clean record, and it's a little bit stupid, you know? They're watching too much fucking MMA and boxing. That's what that is. They see these fighters being like, 12 and 0 or 13 and 0 or whatever it may be. And they're like, I need to keep a clean record rather than I need to get, sorry, I'm just putting my charge in.
No worries.
Rather than needing to get experience.
Yeah, it's like that as well. When you're amateur, like, if you go from amateur to pro, your record is clean again. You know, you're 0-0.
Exactly. There's nothing. You know, nothing there. You're back to zero.
And as well, like, it's nearly in the spirit of Muay Thai to just to fight often and regular, whether you're winning, you're losing. It's kind of,
you're losing. Like, in Thailand, you're respected more if you go in and like show a lot of heart in a fight than go in and KO someone. Like, that's what they love. They love someone that's gonna come and fight every single time. They'd rather see someone that is gonna give it their all.
Yeah. I suppose that's how you nearly build up the fan base. It's like, if you have somebody coming out to those stadiums and they're seeing the same guy regular, and they know that, well, we know this guy is going to give it his all, and you know what you're getting with this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So just now, before we finish up, if you have two more kind of questions, if you had to pick a favorite fighter of all time, it doesn't necessarily have to be Muay Thai, it could be any combat sport, but if you had to pick a favorite fighter, who would you pick?
I've honestly too many. I really do. That's probably the hardest question to answer. Like, I love Tyson for boxing, Lomachenko for his movement, or Rigondeaux for his movement. I love Anderson Silva in MMA because he was a creative motherfucker. I love Conor because he stylistically keeps his distance very well, throws his shots at different angles. I love Aldo. He kicks very well. Thiago Alves is another MMA fighter that kicks very well. Barboza is an MMA fighter that kicks very well. Khabib for his wrestling dominance. Like, that's one of the hardest questions the two answer. Sangman, he's a toy that's just beautiful to watch. Twanichoy, he's another toy that's absolutely beautiful to watch. Nunalek, he's an absolute monster. Rod Tang, like there's just this goes on and on and on.
Yeah,
Deckers, he's an all-time great.
Yeah, it's always a question. It's a question that's always catching people because, like I said, it's so hard to pick, especially when you're put on the spot to pick one. I'd struggle to pick one myself, but I think this one might be similar. If you had to pick a favorite fight to watch on, you're going onto YouTube, you had to pick a favorite fight. Would you be able to pick one?
Yeah. Pakon Pornsnay, that is absolute madness. Two toys. My favorite toy fight ever to watch. That is. Two very, very good toys that like went to absolute war. Like it's like something out of a film, to be honest with you. Two of them just standing in front of each other, taking right hands. You hit me, I hit you. You hit me, I hit you. It's madness.
So lovely. I'll add that to my list, and I'll give
Pecan and Pornsnay. Pecan and Pornsnay. I'd
nice.
send you. I'll try to send you if I can. Yeah.
Do. This is a great way for me to get a couple of lists of fights as well. You know, this is why I asked the question.
Good.
Yeah. So I think we'll leave it there. Thanks a million for coming on. I've really enjoyed.
Thanks very much for having me.
Thanks a million for coming on. Hopefully you'll get back properly in the gym, and you might get a couple of fights in this year.
Yeah. Please God, this all blows over soon. That's all.
Hopefully. So look, man, all the best and stay safe.
Same to you, mate. Thanks very much for having me. I'll see you again.
Take care.
Bye-bye.